So what's going on, toxic gamers? Looks like we got brand new gaming news to talk about. We got GTA 6 news going around. I got a video that I want to share with you. Battlefield 6 gameplay. Apparently they showed some destruction gameplay for the next Battlefield game, so I want to actually share that video clip with you guys. But get this, man, looks like we're gonna get PlayStation 6 before GTA 6 at this point, man. Yo, what is going on, bro? We got actual PlayStation 6 news. This is insane. We gotta get into that one. We also got PSP 2, so we're hearing that it's not necessarily gonna be like PSP 2, but apparently gamers are now talking about it because there is information that alongside PlayStation 6 we're gonna get. So this is supposedly the PS Vita, right? So I'm gonna show you that Black Ops 2 remaster as well. Black Ops 2 remaster. So we've got to talk about that. The homie Blame Truth was caught looking like this. Looking like this. Let's jump right into it. Like the video if you want GTA 6 trailer 2 before the game comes out. Dislike the video if you want the trailer 2 after the game comes out, okay? I don't even know how that works. Shout out to the homie Nero. Wait for it. We got tons to go over. Roll it.
I think it's time to sit down and finally admit something to ourselves.
Okay.
Activision won, at least for the time being. This may very well be a situation of winning the battle but losing the war, but at least for the time being, Verdansk has been a success. A huge success, to be frank. And we were very skeptical going into it, of course. We're kind of curious to see how things were going to go. And obviously, it would have been crazy if Verdansk failed. Like, what would Activision do then? But so far, it's been working out pretty well.
I don't know about Activision, but you do know for the fact that the homie Blame Truth would have been doing helicopters with his Willy. Pause real quick. Yeah, he won that failing. He won that failing. He won that failing, though. But listen, man, I just want multiplayer succeeding, though. So, yeah, simple as that. And I feel like that the homie Blame Truth also won the multiplayer doing good. Or maybe not. Maybe not.
We initially said that the first weekend would be incredibly telling, and then the first full week would really point us in the direction that we were heading. Well, the numbers are good. I mean, they're not quite the same numbers that you would get for a launch of a brand new game or anything like that, but so far it's been over 2 weeks and the player retention numbers are steady, and they're also a bit higher than what we averaged last year during Modern Warfare 3. So people love Verdansk, they're happy to come back to it. Warzone has saved the COD franchise, at least for the time being, but therein lies a pretty big problem for Activision and a lot of hurdles that we are going to have to deal with as the community. Looking back at the player numbers that we've been covering over the course of the past like 4 or 5 months now, it seems like there was a huge problem going on with the COD franchise. For one reason or another, player numbers were just going down ridiculously, and I don't think it's necessarily Black Ops 6's fault. I mean, when we look at Black Ops 6, what you...
I would say like the biggest thing is, fatigue though, you know, fan fatigue. Every game is feeling like the same, and also the biggest factor of Black Ops 6, I mean, Black Ops 6, bro, like on surface, it's a good game though. I wish I could say psych, but the maps are hot garbage though. The maps are trash though, at least like the base game maps, and that's what made a lot of people like peace out, and a lot of people did peace out though, right? Like according to the numbers, okay, not even my opinion, not even anybody's opinion. It's like we saw the numbers, we had the raw data, and yeah, people pulled out pretty quick.
Actually the problem there, like truly, like, is it the time to kill?
And of course we can talk about skill-based matchmaking, time to kill this or that, but like it don't matter, bro. People started piecing out. It gotta be the maps though, or fatigue, you know, gamers, Call of Duty fatigue, because every game feeling the same ever since Modern Warfare 19 in terms of the engine, you know what I mean, right?
Is it the gunplay? Is it the perk system? Even the Omni movement, for crying out loud? Like, genuinely, what is the biggest transgression that we have with Black Ops 6? I mean, could it be the score streaks and how they're virtually a non-factor if you're in the top 50% of players? Is it the map design of the maps that came out with the launch of the game? Like, what truly is the problem with Black Ops 6? Because before Verdansk, player numbers were in the toilet. Like, we had a massive launch, everybody said, ew, we don't like this, they stopped playing, and then now that Verdansk is back, they're playing once again. And the obvious issue that I'm sure a lot of us have here, considering you're watching my channel and we're a multiplayer focused channel, is when multiplayer was at the forefront, the game was down the gutter. We were losing so many players. We were hitting record lows. Like, typically the player counts that we had right after the launch of Black Ops 6 were typically the player numbers that you would see at the very end of the game's life cycle, but it was happening like 6 weeks after the launch of Black Ops 6. It was freaking bad, and that's really concerning if you're just a straight up multiplayer fan. If you don't care about Battle Royale, if you don't care about Verdansk or Warzone, or
how many of you guys genuinely care for Warzone right now? Like, I haven't jumped on, but if you do, like, put out one in the comments, 2 in the comments if you're like, nah bro, like I don't care about war. I don't care about Warzone. But yeah, I want to know, because of course, like, Call of Duty has done extremely well with Warzone. That's facts, whether you like it or not. These are facts. Call of Duty ever since March of 2020, right? That's when Warzone was first launched. And we were in the Rona situation, you know, like people were getting those jabs, like the thick. Thankfully, like because I do YouTube and I make online content, and the side hustles that I got outside of YouTube were digital at the time, still are, but I have to run outside for doing like other stuff right now. But back in 2020, bro, you needed to get the jabs, this that, so people were stuck, and if you wanted to work, you needed the jab. At least here in Canada, it was pretty wild. I mean, thankfully I didn't get the jab, though I did not want it, I didn't get it, so yeah, thankfully, right? But the point is that back then, mostly everybody were at home or work from home, or you know, you were just showing up to work maybe like once a week, twice a week, yeah, and for a limited amount of time, everybody were at home, right? So Netflix shot up, Call of Duty shot up, and the timing was perfect. I mean, listen, bro, like that was one of the most perfect timing ever, because March of 2020, that's when US, at least North America, I would say worldwide, but generally speaking, like I have the only context of where I'm at, so North America, right? Canada, US. So we went on a pretty tight, like it was tight, pause, but we went on a lockdown and everybody were stuck at home, and the timing couldn't be any perfect. So Warzone just did extremely well, and on top, coupled that up with the power of, you know what I'm saying, right? Power of that friendly, with the power of the friendly BBC Online, Warzone just killed it, bro. They killed it with Warzone. But after that, you know, it felt the same-ish, and now it's like nostalgia talking, so they brought it back and people are jumping on it. Except for the homie Blame Truth, though. Except for the homie Blame Truth. I don't think he's jumping on it, but pause, roll it.
Or anything like that. You're solely focused on the multiplayer. Well, it seems like the vast majority of people just don't care about the current iteration of the Call of Duty multiplayer experience, and I don't necessarily think that's Black Ops 6's fault. I've heard other content creators talk about this, like, what is the big issue this year with Black Ops 6 compared to any other year? Like, there's something really overly wrong with the game, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it comes back to the same thing. Those four little letters I've never covered here on the channel whatsoever, not even one time. Skill-based matchmaking, man. That's straight up what it comes down to. If you're Activision and you want a healthy player base, you want people coming back to the game and everything and spending money in the shop, all they needed to do for Warzone was say, okay, well, everything we're doing now sucks, let's go back to the past and just kind of make Warzone like...
Yeah, no, they're not gonna say that, bro. They'd rather say psych than saying that, bro. You know that. They're not gonna. Now, let's actually jump onto the Battlefield stuff. And we got PlayStation 6, PSP, GTA 6 to go over as well. So get ready for that one. But speaking of Battlefield, apparently they dropped new community update. And alongside it, there's a video too. Shout out to the homie Jack Frags. Roll it with...
Bit of a juicy one today. So we finally got another gameplay clip of the next Battlefield game. This game courtesy of a BF community update a couple hours ago. And I thought I wanted to do a video on this because it's kind of interesting and pretty cool. And it's a clip that shows some insane destruction, and it talks about some of the gameplay implications of it, and there's some new stuff in here that we haven't seen before, so we're going to go through it here. Community update, Battlefield Labs destruction. We're back with another community update focused on destruction and a summary of our initial learnings from previous Battlefield Labs play sessions. Let's start with a preview of how we're designing and testing destruction for the future.
Oh shit,
our design philosophy for destruction. Our goal for destruction is centered around adding further gameplay depth by allowing you to reshape the environment and transform your surroundings towards a tactical advantage.
Oh wow.
For example, barging through walls to surprise your enemies, reshaping the battlefield to create new paths into the capture zones, or taking down a building to take out an attacking squad.
I just gotta say, I hope so. We're gonna cut to the chase, alright? We're gonna cut to the chase, and we're gonna check out, like, the actual gameplay video that was shared. It was shared somewhere right around here. Yeah, right here. Okay, roll it.
Emphasis and effort into the destruction. Yeah. And then it follows with this video here. There's no audio on it, so you're not gonna hear any audio. We can imagine. I'll do the sound effects.
Okay. Oh, bro, it sounds like, yo, my dad, like, throwing up, bro. Like, what?
There you go, rubble. Creates a new route through the building, jumps up, through another hole, and then you got a little flank. I've seen some comments saying this is too much destruction for one RPG.
Bruh.
It is a lot of destruction. To be honest, like...
I rather a lot of destruction than no destruction. Pause. Yeah, no, I rather, bro. Like with Battlefield 2042, bro, everybody were asking for destruction, and they said that there would be only one village in that desert map, right? Hourglass was the name of the map, so there would be a village that would be fully fledged destructible in Hourglass. Yeah, that's what those suckers said, and the rest of the game, no destruction. I rather this, man. Come on, man. You know this, bro.
They can change this, tweak this, tone it down, whatever. Battlefield, for me, is a cinematic experience. I like this. I like this a lot. I feel like The explosion is satisfying. The smoke that's coming out here, the effects. Yeah, there's no textures, but it's knocking off sides of the wall. And it creates this rubble here, which he then climbs up, climbs through the building, through another hole, and then into another fight. Before, I mean, look, there's no route there. Maybe there's an alleyway here, but here's another flank that you could do.
Yeah.
Amazing. And I hope that they have this level of emergent narrative with the destruction on all the maps in the game. I don't want this to just be on this map. This map is called Abbasid based on the leaks. It's the urban map that they showed in the initial teaser trailer.
Now it does look
just
good,
imagining that with the sound, not my sound effects.
Now, of course, like, this is like pre-alpha gameplay, so we don't see the textures on it, but that's like the skeleton of it. And yeah, if the skeleton is that strong, sheesh, man. I mean, wait till we get the texture on
obviously
this mother effort.
But yeah, huge rubble pile. Lovely. Oh, just imagine popping through a wall.
That's the homie Jackfresh. Shout out to the homie TCMF. Let's get down to the PlayStation 6 news and the PSP Portable, okay? This time I for real want an actual PSP. How many of you actually had the original PSP? You know, like with the UMD discs? And later on, we of course got the PS Vita and all that. PS Vita was cool. It was the touch screen. I mean, it was alright, but nothing beats the original PSP. And especially for the time, right? Like, yeah, that's the thing though. For the time when it first came out, I remember like going to the libraries that's literally 2 minutes away from me, and you would just give them like $2 and you could have rent $2 Canadian, by the way, okay? You could have rent a UMD disc, aka the game, okay? You could rent a PSP game, and if your PSP was hacked at that time, you could have borrowed that, rent that, or borrow games from your friend and basically save all of that on your memory cards. Oh, shit. And I believe the memory cards were like 1 gigs, 2 gigs, even 8 gigs, 4 gigs, 32 gigs, if I remember correctly. I believe 32 gigs were the max, okay? Yeah, so it was pretty bad. I mean, it's pretty bad in comparison to today. Nowadays, you need like 2 terabyte and Call of Duty will take half of it, okay? But back then, yeah, so you would hoard up on these memory sticks and just borrow games, rent those games, and just have a hacked PSP and go from there. But Sony did lose a lot of money though because of that, and I think this is why so far they haven't done it. They need to find a crackdown on the, you know, they don't want people hacking it, so they need to crack down on it, and maybe this time they're gonna be able to. Let's find out.
5 portable specs leak and launch timeframe along with the next generation PlayStation 6. So we've known for some time now that the PlayStation 6 is in the works. Sony is set to do their chip fabrication for testing later this year, and if all goes well, the console should launch in holiday 2027. We've talked about potential specs for the console as well: UDNA GPU, Zen 5 or 6 CPU, etc. That's the PlayStation 6. You can check out previous videos on that. We've talked about that in terms of what we know so far. Here I want
even I covered that in my last gaming news video. And here's the thing, the comments that I have been seeing from people, and also you guys, because the last time when we were talking about the PlayStation 6, vast majority of you guys were like, hey man, it feels so quick though, it feels so quick. And even to me, it does feel so quick, because dog, 2020, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X came out in 2020, and we're already in 2025. This November, it would be 5 years. Get this, 5 years. So by the time this comes out, it's being reported that PlayStation 6 is going to come out by the end of 2027, maybe even 2028. So if it comes out by the end of 2028, it will be like 8 years. But if it comes out by the end of 2027, it would be 7 years. And this is basically the same, like how, you know, this is the same amount of gap. PlayStation 4 came out in 2013, right? And then PS5 came out in 2020. 7 years difference. It does feel fast, however, this time, because I think we're all getting older as well, and COVID just like effed things up, so time is just moving way too quick. And on top, this generation, we haven't even got jacked, bro. There were like 1-2 good games. I mean, God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man, and they were good games, and they are still good games, but they aren't as mind-blowing as we thought they were gonna be. Like, they are right though. Yeah, no, I'm gonna keep above 50. You know, they were all right. The original Spider-Man 2018 was way better, okay? Like, I'm just gonna be honest, God of War 2018 also felt like a lot better than Ragnarok. Ragnarok boss fights are better, but Call of Duty, or not Call of Duty, but God of War 2018, it just was new at the time, and coming from God of War Ascension, God of War 3 for like PlayStation 3 era, and and jumping the leap, you know, the graphical leap was amazing between God of War 3 Ascension and God of War 2018. We saw a massive jump in graphics. Now Ragnarok graphics, nothing to complain about, but I mean, it wasn't as mind-blowing. I mean, we had that on PlayStation 4, so it wasn't like people didn't get like hit in the G spot like they got when they first revealed God of War 2018 all the way back in E3 2016, right? Like I still remember, like I'm imagining that while I'm talking about it. It's like, bro, the crowd went crazy the second everybody saw Kratos. Maybe you saw that, maybe now your memory's coming back up, or you're like, no, SKizzle, like my memory is foggier than Snoop Dogg's bathroom song. Bruh. Maybe that's what it is, but let's get down to it.
I want to focus on the next PlayStation handheld console because it's gotten a bit interesting. Recently, Kepler L2 has been sharing some information on the handheld, some stuff we've heard before, and some I don't think we have. So let's dive into all of this. First up is the chip in the handheld. According to Kepler, it's going to be a 3nm 15-watt chip. The 15-watt obviously is the power consumption. You have more of that, you have more power you can access, which is why something like the Switch 2 runs better in docked mode. Now, comparing the chip size, the Switch 2 is an 8nm chip compared to the PSP 3's potential 3nm chip. This is a very big jump in performance capability. With a 3nm chip, it's much more performant, and it could do a lot more with a lot less power, according to Kepler.
Hopefully we're not gonna get blue-balled, because last time we ended up getting blue-balled recently, right, with the new PlayStation handheld. But I mean, it's a good idea, but people definitely want like an actual PSP where you don't need to rely on your PS5. We all ended up getting blue-balled that way, right? We want a real PSP. Hopefully it's gonna be that.
The PlayStation Portable 3's power capability is somewhere between the Xbox Series S and the PlayStation 5. So somewhere in between those two. So not less than the Series S, more than the Series S, but less than the PlayStation 5, which is very impressive. The Switch 2 is being compared currently to the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro. Now, some might think, what's the point of a PlayStation 6 era handheld running PlayStation 5 games? And you have to remember, cross-generation is going to be an even longer thing come next generation. When this thing launches, which we'll talk about in a sec, it'll have years upon years of games coming to it.
Running PS5 games. Yeah, again, man, I don't like that. I mean, I just want it to be its own thing. And couple that up with remote play and being able to play older PlayStation games, including the new ones. I think that would be amazing, but I think we're asking for way too much, right? Are we asking for way too much, or it's like, yeah, man, I don't want it to be like that. I just literally said I don't want this to be like a PlayStation handheld thing, right? The recent one that came out. I want this to be its own thing. Like, you can actually play games on it, right? The new games, without relying on PS5 or any PlayStation that you would have, any console for that matter, that you would have at home. Point is, if you buy this, you can go to your friend's house, you can go outside and play it. Or you can sit inside and play without relying on your PlayStation console, right? If I'm making sense, though.
Developers are still producing games for the PlayStation 4 to this day, and we're 5 years into the PlayStation 5 generation, and the PlayStation 4 launched with outdated hardware all the way back in 2013. The PlayStation 5, however, launched with new hardware in 2020, so think about how much longer the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 6 cross-generation will potentially last. You'll have games to play. That's something I 100% expect. Kepler goes on more to talk about the power of the PlayStation Portable 3, saying that it'll play PlayStation 5 games, but at a lower resolution and performance, which is completely fine for a handheld. You're not playing games at 4K on a handheld.
Bro, I swear to God, like, you talk about the power of this handheld, bro. If you cannot play this separately, individually, you cannot play on its own, then I'm gonna show them my real, okay? I'm gonna show them the power of my BBC, son. Yeah, bro, you better watch out, son. You better watch out.
On the go. I've seen some people ask, how are they going to get these games on this handheld? Xbox has a bunch of games already running on the Series S mode, so they can just bring those over to their handheld, and that's true. For Sony's side, this was already pretty much explained before, and what they're going to do is do it via patches. Sony's going to work with developers, and games will be patched to run on this thing. Something like a portable mode might be activated, similar to a performance mode or a quality mode or even a PS5 Pro mode, something like that you already see existing across current PlayStation 5 games. So you're going to be running these games at lower levels on the handheld, which I assume will also have whatever next generation PSSR is ready for the PlayStation 6. It'll come to this thing as well. Something interesting that Kepler mentioned also is that the chip in this handheld is not something similar to the PlayStation 6 chip, which we understood was potentially going to be the case. Apparently, it's going to be something else that's designed to run on lower voltages, which is what you want, obviously, for a handheld chip. But I don't think before we heard that it was going to be something different than what's in the PlayStation 6. This has me wondering if this handheld will run on ARM architecture, considering we had that job listing last year about Sony wanting to run their games on different architectures. But of course, we'll have to wait and see on that.
We'll have to wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's actually dive into that GTA 6 news, okay? Shout out to the homie Ink Slasher. Now this got everybody worried, all right? Everybody's like looking like this right now. Of course, everybody's like waiting for the trailer to the gameplay for GTA 6 and all that. Are we gonna get it? I mean, we're gonna get it, but like, when are we gonna get it, right? They confirmed, I've been seeing this, right? So May 15 is gonna be their investor call. I'll shortly live stream on the channel, so hit the subscribe bell. And that day, we're either gonna find out about the trailer to the game release date again, or the game is getting delayed. Either they're gonna announce the release date and it's coming out again like this year, like they have been saying that over and over, or they're gonna announce the fact that the game is finally getting delayed, because we're assuming it's gonna get delayed at this point because we haven't even heard anything from them. It's been over 500 days since they released their very first trailer for GTA 6, you know, all the way back on December of 2023. Yeah, it's been that long, 500 plus days, guys. And May 15th, that's when they're gonna have their investor call. Now check this one out, roll it.
Because after September 23rd, really no game has announced when they are coming out. And I will show you exactly what I mean by this. If we go to, did I close the page? I think, no, it's right there. So this is IGN's list of release dates. Check this out. After September 23rd, there are 2 games announced in the fall. And normally fall is pretty busy, even at this stage of the year.
Yeah.
There's 2 games. And there's a Dark Pictures game, and there's a Double Dragon Revive, which is a...
And the point is that so far Take-Two has confirmed that GTA 6 is gonna come out in fall, right? And fall means September, October, and November. December is classed as winter, right? So yeah, and the fact that Borderlands is coming out in September, yeah, technically we know that they're not gonna drop GTA 6. They still can, but chances are very low that they're gonna drop GTA 6 in September. So right now everybody's wondering, it gotta be October. Now October is when Call of Duty usually comes out. You know, the next Battlefield has been confirmed too, right? But EA already said that they don't want none to do with Grand Theft Auto, so they're gonna delay their game. But my question is, and I know you have been thinking this too, what if Rockstar delays their game? Oh shit! Nobody is announcing their game right now because everybody's afraid of GTA 6. I'm talking about the publishers, right? Nobody's announcing their game. Usually it's stacked up, like October, November is stacked up. Nobody's announcing their game because they're worried. What happens if GTA 6 gets delayed? Then all of a sudden everybody gonna start like announcing their game? Or what if they delay their game too late and the other publishers cannot then release in October and November? What then?
The reboot game. But after September 23rd, nothing. Because after September 23rd, that is a possible release date for GTA 6. All of those really are, but we're going to hone in a little bit more. Now, there's also a lot of games that still need to be announced as to when they're coming out. So Outer Worlds 2 on June the 8th, which is
Summer
going to be
Game Fest.
During Summer Game Fest, like right in the middle of Summer Game Fest. Xbox is doing a direct. By the way, from the 6th to the 9th on this channel, we are going to be very, very busy. But on the 8th, we have an Xbox press conference, direct, whatever you want to call it. And after it, they're doing an Outer Worlds 2 direct. So I'm guessing this game is probably going to come out in the summer. That would be my best guess. Probably August, early August, to avoid Mafia. Just my guess, or even sooner.
Yeah, August they got Take-Two is releasing Mafia. September they're releasing Borderlands. So October seems very likely for GTA 6, fellas. It looks very, unless of course they can always delay it. Thank you for subscribing, Matt. You guys don't have to subscribe, but I appreciate y'all because I've been posting random stuff, so there's no point in asking for subscribing. I mean, if you like the content, like I'd rather you watch all kinds of content. So I mean, if you're cool with that, then subscribe. But if you're only here for one thing, then don't subscribe, if that makes sense, right? But have you seen this video? Yeah, so apparently they have recovered a UFO, actual UFO, and the scientists have confirmed alien life on a different planet. Oh shit! Oh shit! In what kind? Yeah, find out in this video. Click on this video on the screen and check it out. It's all over the news, bro. It's yeah,